Right, what's going on, people? This is your boy Alex Yard, and since I was not here right at the moment the timer ran out, I guess my punishment is that I have to do a bonus hour of streaming starting tonight at midnight Eastern Time. But in better news, what's up, Shadow Ops? Wacko confirms the arrival of the man of the hour, Alex Yard. We've got Keo. What did I have the name wrong? Of the song, Rave Dance Tune, Rave Dude, I'll have to check that. What's going on? Vector Sater, I believe I saw. Let me just come on camera. Stanley's got a top secret press release. Yeah, and I didn't know if I should talk about that on the hour either. And hello, Ghostabird. Keo says, please don't. It cuts into our karting hours. No, it wouldn't, because kart goes from 7:30 to 9:30, pretty much. Yeah, that later block that's typically used, if anything, for 5 nights at Frederick's will be used, and that's all a joke about the bonus hour, everyone. But what's not a joke is me. Hello, Ghostabird. What's going on? Get myself on camera. Yeah, baby. This is your boy Alex Yard. What's up? Keo loves that song. And it's gone. That's the way it works. Yeah, and we resumed at the Bomberman music that got interrupted last time. What I'm going to do is this. Open up the game and turn on my cold air box modifier. Hope everyone's doing good. Look at these graphics. Doesn't this look like Sonic Colors? Did I say that last time? It's an inevitable comparison. I hope you're all doing great. I'm doing solid. It's been a great few days of working on a project. Yeah, I might talk about that project a little bit later, but not now. So, doesn't that face above the marquee look like the Balan Wonderworld guy? I don't know. I guess you can't copyright a hat. Let's start the Showtime show. Start. Stupid thing. Now, JJ certifies the Showtime. Do you save Mario at the end as a final dismissal of the patriarchy? Because I might have to buy the full game if that's in the mix. Wow, look at these animations, how far we've come. The eternal quote from Andre from Gain Explain, who doesn't pay his employees good, and despite that, he couldn't retain his employees. Poor Triss. Poor Joey. Oh, nice. Did Keo scoop up the song? Yes, Keo did. I look forward to the song request. All right. Thank you, JJ, for the game audio heads up. Let's get some solid Nintendo of Japan audio. That's probably a little too loud. We want the yelps and chirps to be right at about 25. I might bump it a little, but yeah. Hope everyone's doing good. I think we're going to the Patisserie Peach Party. I like how at the lower right it says take the stage. Showtime. Oh, you can't see it because me blocking it. But yeah. I've had a solid few days. And I've been working on, I'll just at least say, an Alex Yard Adventure project. And it's just very re-energizing. After the very specific contextual special report that I did, it's been the perfect, few days to just do something totally different to get myself back into the groove of just a good workflow. And what better way to bask in these sweet sweets? This so looks like the Yoshi games. Alright, Sweetheart can move in 3 dimensions. This is going to be amazing. So this is like the start of Penny's big breakaway. Alex Yard's swinging report show, baby. JJ is looking forward to that mindset too when he finishes his big project. At which time you can finally edit your movie 2 reaction. Now, is there any key lore? It smells good. I could have done without that lore. It'll be starting any minute. This is just like Penny, jeez. Waiting is so hard. Caca. Danger zone. Jump and hit the button. That's this game's credo. Do people do 100% speed runs of this demo specifically? Because I could get in on that. Goofy cuties, says JJ. They're rather adorable. Now, can I help these citizens? Or are they just doomed to gloom? I guess I gotta go into the sweets corral. Alright. Alright, now that no one else is sulking, let's go in. Stanley says it seems big for a demo. Yeah, you get 2 levels, I guess. I think there are more levels using this theming. Like, there's not just one level for pastry chef action. I think there's, like, this is pastry chef -1, and later in the game there's pastry chef -2. Cookies are gone. Your heart's not vibing with the absent cake. Whatever. Now let's go to Tegrity Farms to get some of Mr. Marsh's primo product. Oh, I have to rejuvenate them? You have to engage with this game's central mechanic, walking up to a target and pressing the same button. At least they have a good animation. Ghost of Burb thinks you smell that coming from downstairs. What, the pastries? They better be as delicious as they smell. Guys, I activated all the Celeste strawberries. I'm so good at this part. I can imagine this works well as a kid's first game. It's simple, but you do have to participate in order to make things happen. Uh-oh, I missed a hidden star. I guess this run is now doomed. I will instantly reset the run. I'm just kidding, but that's a satire of that particular speedrunning mentality. Restart the entire run as soon as you make a mistake. Okay, Ghost of Bird was talking about Mr. Marsh's integrity-based product. Let's go. Okay, we got the ingredients. Now she better suit up. Peach is the baker, I would think. Where's the Easter egg collectible over here? What a ripoff. We got, what, eggs? Tomatoes to throw at the stage. Flour. Wow, this is like the Nintendo 64, Mario 64 castle with secret chambers and bonus content. That's the one, real Stanley. Tegrity Farms. The best in the tri-state area. Great deals on Wednesdays, Wacky Wednesdays over at Tegrity Farms. Keo says, Baker, you're the only baker around here. I'll make you eat those words here at the bakery. Feech Lamana's Bakery. So her dress turned blue, but that was just to become malleable enough to transform into this. The adorable quotient of this is off the charts. But this is a highly curated and perfected reel of Peach's life. You know, Instagram style. Her day-to-day existence doesn't necessarily have all this flawless glamour. Alright, pâtissier. Is that a female pastry chef? So is a male patisserie chef called patissiero? I'll conclude. Oh, I triggered an automated bell. Make cookies for the guests. So now is what... Oh, here's the hidden chamber. Is now what we're going to do going to amount to a simple Mario Party 2 minigame? Where you have to hit the spatula at the right moment? At the very least, she looks adorable in these poses and outfits. Alright, Ghost of Burb definitely smells the integrity. Is going to make sure your birds don't get sick from all that marsh integrity. Alright, so mix, but not too much. That's the game plan. How do I know when it's... Should I just look at the gunk and eventually it will start dancing? So I get it high, but not too high. Oh wow, what the hell is this? What's an... Is that like a pastry wall on the outside and like lemon lime goop on the inside? Can you buy this at bakeries? Oh, I gotta put it on the cart. This is easier than a Mario Party minigame. I could see myself speedrunning this. What the hell? Some of them take a lot less time to assemble. Palam-pam. Where's Yoshi? He would add some necessary pizzazz to this. Oh wow, the go-karts. They're not all on a single track. So you have to use the 3D perspective to be in the right spot at the right... Oh, I did it too much. Okay, almost. I would love to pick... I could have just imagined a little kid mashing the button too much and, you know, learning the very valuable lesson of not flying too close to the sun. Wow, it has a rainbow hue at the very end. Okay, you can put two entities on the same cart. That's nice. I have time for one more? No. I think I did great. Is that meter not full? Did I get 2 out of 3 stars? What the hell was that about? Were they amaretto cookies? What is an amaretto cookie? Keep the cookies moving. You can just imagine the parents going at this moment, oh my god, that's so cute. And then that heart health meter is right out of Crafted World, I believe. Ah, look at that. Getting pushed by the NPCs. Look, I've seen enough that this game seems pretty cool. For its target audience, absolutely. There's more than enough cuteness in the animations and the situations that yeah. Although I'm not the target demo is very well served here. So just keep that in mind if you have a niece or nephew, you know, 10 years from now when this game is discounted as a Nintendo Chicken Select Greatest Hits on the Switch Up 2. which is the successor to the Switch Up. And let's be honest, the Switch Up is not releasing or even getting announced. I just gotta fill it up. I missed the directions. Oh, I gotta match the picture. Alright. There were instructions. This is cool. This is like Mario Party Revisited. You know, they should just take these ideas and kind of recycle them for the next Mario Party, because they don't know what to do with Mario Party. Did I get it close enough? Ah, look, it's the star where you fight Bowser at the end of SM64. Now, is my artwork following the grid enough? I feel kind of confident about this one. Look at all the fellas dancing. Yeah, this is look at all the lemons. Oh, I gotta hit the button to finish it. Ghost of Burb says, Mario Party Cross Sonic Shuffle. Let's do it, you cowards. Dude, since the Mario and oh boy, look at this. Alright, so this game does have pause buffering. You can pause and still see, for the most part, the design. So I gotta give it looks tough. 3 kind of flower petals that are not overlapping with the macaroons at the bottom. Yes, Wackadude citing Cybershell's Sonic Frontiers video. Look at this grade school puzzle. Alright. This is crazy. I should be going against the direction, not toward it. Against it, like this. Alright. Gave it my best shot. It looks yummy. I wonder if the game must have an internal... Whoa. An internal system to gauge, you know, how close it is based on like a percentage score. Ghost of Burb accidentally pinned a message. I didn't know pinning was a thing. Alright. So they're gonna come out of the... Wait, what the hell? They come out of the dot and then go to the green. I'm running out of time though, so... It knows which right things to put, I guess. Was that enough to pass the test? Keo confirms you can pin messages. You're welcome for the Johnny Kegs. Who needs 60 frames per second in this game? Not Serious Sam. And I think Serious Sam changed his profile picture. It used to be Hat Kid. Now it's, I think, the bomb from the Serious Sam branding. Shadow Ops had a phone call, which is now done. What's up, Shadow Ops? Did you pre-order this game? And if so, how much did you regret that choice? Aha, dudes. Yeah, if you do cringe Instagram poses well enough, you can even win me over, Nintendo. Wait, that was the final boss of this area? Pinning the tree on the tree. Now, is there going to be Peach's voice that says, thank you for playing my game. Who's next? Like the Mario 64 kiosks used to say at Toys R Us and stuff. JJ says Sam Lee White Kid 64 told you he was changing his name permanently back to Sam in 30 days. Wait, back to Sam? Isn't it Sam right now? Serious Sam 64? Oh, this is the teaser for all the other parts. This is a very effective demo, I'm not gonna lie. Giving you a glimpse of everything else. What did that... Remember we played that artisanal platformer, Gris? The Mega Man outfit. Here's this, the Cuphead part. Wow, look at Mermaid Girl, Zorro, Kung Fu, Fencing, Ninja, Woody Woodpecker. No, Woody from Toy Story. Shadow Ops has not bought any games in many years. But those are Wiggler heads, kind of like Captain Olimar. So I guess one of the last games you bought was in the Pikmin series. I still never played a Pikmin all that much. It defaults the menu to the Nintendo eShop. Let's go back to the lobby. Well, that only took about 20 minutes. I'm boned. I'm just kidding, we're not boned. We'll improvise. I guess I don't want to start Sonic the Fighters Blitz until the scheduled time. You know, because a lot of people have every justification to schedule... Wow, look at that low frame rate. Schedule their evening around my streams. They say, alright, I'll pop in as soon as he's done with Princess Peach's hard drive. View movie? What is that? Is that just the preview again? Yeah, this is it, right? Did I miss this part? No, now it's just going to all the different things. Yeah, okay. Skip cutscene. Yeah, Ghostiverse says speed run. We should look up tool-assisted speed runs of this game. Shadow Ops says the last Pikmin game you played was on GameCube. The last game you played, full stop, was Yakuza Kiwami. Alright, that means you're not gonna have to spring for the new Switch version of Yakuza Kiwami. I'm not giving away my heart charm. I guess Nintendo just wants you to shut the game off at this point. Nice. When I play Sonic the Fighters Blitz, Wackadude is gonna be playing the baseline Sonic the Fighters. Alright. I want to see... Just make sure what I put on the schedule. Alright, yeah, it is supposed to be 4:45 when Sonic the Fighters NFL Blitz starts. But hey, while we're at it, what do you guys want to see today for a Sonic game? It's kind of a freewheeling stream. I'd like to do 2 song requests instead of 1. I can't attack this Majora's Mask store. Oh, there we go. Alright, Stanley votes for Sonic Adventure 1. Oh, this is just the theater to see this yet again. 3rd time, Alex. People are getting tired of it. It was charming the first time. Shadow Ops played Yakuza Kiwami on PlayStation 4, and you also completed the original Mania. Wow, you completed it completionist style? Well, let me know when the golf tournament is, when tickets go on sale. Keo says more Chow Garden. We could do that. Wackadude says Team Sonic Racing. I guess because I just streamed that the other day, it wouldn't be good to revisit it so soon. Also because I haven't made it far, because I've always been trying to play that game on hard difficulty. I could easily blaze through the game on normal, but it's way too easy. Hard mode is very difficult. And there also may be a... Alright, Vector votes Sonic Racing Transformed. Yeah, Transformed is definitely on the menu. Yeah, why don't we do some... I'm in the mood for that. So yeah, grab your midstream pretzel. I'm just gonna unplug the wire to get that lovely... JJ says Rocket League, and that did occur to me. But since we're a Sonic-y crowd, I'm inclined to... Oh wait, I'm all mixed up. I guess we... Yeah, we could do Start Transformed, you know, as the Sonic game. I was kind of mixing it up in my head. Mixing together, you know, what to do for the next 15... It's only like 15 minutes. What fun micro thing can I... Let's look at my entire Switch library. What to play in the next 15 minutes. How about Sega Ages Sonic 1? The last time I showed you Hades, it was a bad showcase because I picked a starting attack that just meant that the gameplay is just kind of way too frantic. That was my failure. Ghost of Burb says that your burbs say you want to see me save the flickies. And I should say this. Hey, what's up, Sparky? Sparky says, yo, someone actually bought Peach. Really? Someone bought it? Who was that? I sure didn't. Yeah, I got 2 stream segments out of just the demo. You never ended up buying it, Sparky, I assume? Do you guys want to at least kill 10 minutes seeing what Bug Fables is? What a pitch. Want to see what Bug Fables is? Look, I got to get back to Dark Souls, I know. I got roadblocked on that boss, but I think there's a shortcut to the boss that I should really utilize, and then that will help me overcome my plateau. Wow, Sparky said that he did not buy Princess Peach Showtime because the demo literally killed your purchase. Oh, and Stanley says, good work on the new video. The new video? How did I miss that press release? Maybe because I've been avoiding Twitter for the past week due to conversations happening there. Unrelated to Sparky. Keo wonders which boss was I on? Oh yeah, I was on that big... it was the... I got the pyromancy. Alright, sorry, I'll talk about that in a sec. But... I think we should just kill 10 minutes looking at Bug Fables graphics. Alright, Sparky says, dude, alright, yeah, I will break my Twitter moratorium to look at Sparky's page specifically. You guys want to see this exciting update? Sparky says, whatever expectations you had have been blown out of the water. Expectations for what? Princess Peach Showtime? Or your video release? Look at these jet set graphics, baby. Wait, start game? No, I'm just gonna pop into work. Look at these Newgrounds animation graphics. Alright, I have not touched this game in a good while. Hey, is that Pac-Man? Where's Third Bruno? That's a B-tourist bit. And hey, what's up, Devin John? Yeah, if you're just joining us, I'm just popping in here for 10 minutes before we do Sonic the Fighters Blitz. But I am glad to hear that Devin John just beat the good ending of Sonic CD with no time stones. Time stones. Who needs them? Me and JJ 3 days ago. Awesome. Glad to hear that Sparky's video has been an absolute hit. The retention numbers have utterly blown your mind. Wait, you already get retention numbers? Well, actually, I guess it does show you on your main dashboard. Yeah, the average view length. But I'm thrilled to hear that, Sparky. And I look forward to watching it myself in the near future. we could even take a glimpse of it here on stream today, because, yeah, it's kind of a vague schedule for today. We were recently talking about maybe playing Sonic Racing Transformed after Sonic the Fighter's Blitz. But yeah, so Sparky says more Time Stone races could be a lot of fun. I agree, and I thought of a cool way to get more mileage out of that would be to do another Time Stone race, but use the level select to start at, you know, a level later in the game, like maybe start at Tidal Tempest, you know, 2 or 3 levels in. That way, you know, the rings that you have to retain and hold to the end are in some harder levels. Stanley says, not possible, Alex. What's not possible? Let's put my proposed plan under scrutiny. Does this guy have something useful to say? Oh no, this is a battle? Alright. So I think if you bump into them like that... Wow, look how spanked I'm getting. All my guys are almost dead. We're really just here to see the graphics. Misses. I'm kind of just pressing random buttons. We'll get going with Sonic Blitz soon. Alright, yeah, Stanley says the video is not short. Yeah, I didn't mean watching the full video, I just meant sniffing the very beginning. At least to get up to the part where Subsonic is riding an airplane, provided that shot did make it into the final cut. I'm looking forward to the part where Subsonic is on an aircraft. Let me attack this fool. Great battle music. Nice QuickTime event. I'd rather deal with these QuickTime events than the yo-yo bits at the end of the level of Penny's Big Breakaway. Wackadude is gonna do a voice reveal soon. Wow, I didn't know that was even a genre beyond face reveals. Shadow Ops wonders if can you find all the robot generators and metal projectors? Yeah, and we have done that race for Sonic CD. All generators, all holograms. It kind of got tedious, but... Sparky wonders, do we think there's a chance Nintendo will go back to the classic Paper Mario style after the success of Thousand Year Door? I think that's a great option for them, and that they should do it. You know, they were able to make Origami King and... What's the other one? I died. Yeah, I would support that. Paper Mario, 2000 Year Escalator, give it to me. That would bring me back. Yeah, Stanley says Color Splash. And of course, Super Paper Mario. Like, I give them credit for experimenting and doing something different with each game, but I think it's time to get back to basics. Wow, Sparky says, it outsold the original Thousand Year Door in under a month. Yes, but you have to account for, what is that? Like at least 20 years difference. You have to factor in how much the population has, because of course, global population growth is exponential. Certainly in America, where you have 7 babies and each of them have 5 to 7 babies. So there's so many more potential customers for the Thousand Year Door remake, because humans have been replicating like rabbits since the early 2000s, and even before that. Ghosted Bird was crying forever because their tale was never finished. That's a very big euphemism of they died. I have nostalgic memories of this game. You can get into this game. I'm all disoriented and I don't know what to do or where to go. But I do have, memories of just really vibing with this game a lot. Who do I need to use to... He's got that charge attack to charge into the thing. And yes, Stanley, this is, of course, Bug Fables. Which, this game was made to scratch the itch of people that love Thousand Year Door. This was, of course, before the Thousand Year Door, right? That was Ant Dude's taglines, like, if you're fed up with all the experimental gimmicks of, the Paper Mario games after Thousand Year Door, well, do I have a bug fable for you. Alright, let me configure some wires so that we can get going with Sonic the Fighter's Blitz. Wait till you see this puppy. It's gonna make Mugen look like Pepsi Man. Alright, go vibe at the waiting zone with some hot tunes. But yeah, I would absolutely glimpse some of Sparky's video later. Whoops. Ignore the timer. Good job. Bless me, said the Pope. Wow, nice. Vector says, coincidentally, King K just released a video explaining why he found himself actually liking Sticker Star. Yeah, I haven't played Sticker Star or Paper Jam or Color Splash. Only Super and Origami. Thank you for the blessings, Kyo. I will anoint the blessing with my chalice. Yeah, Vector says it was interesting seeing King K's perspective after over a decade of backlash. Because yeah, that's all I've really heard about its reputation. Sparky thinks it's best watched individually rather than on stream, though certain chapters could make for really fun reactions. Yeah, if there's a certain, chapter that would be good to look at. But if you are absolutely insistent, I will not show it on stream. Stanley says I should play Thousand Year Door. All I need is $60 and 60 hours. Sparky would love to hear my live reaction to the length. No one spoil it, but I'm gonna guess that it is 1 hour and 55 minutes. That's my ballpark guess. Let it be known, Vector says as it stands right now, he's a bigger fan of OG Paper Mario than Thousand Year Door. However, that could change. That could change. Have you played the Thousand Year Escalator remake? Stanley's enjoying the programs tonight. And Sparky supports that notion of preferring original gangster paper games over Thousand Year Door. Sparky says, Thousand Year Door is very quirky and abstract, while the OG is more familiar from Mario, which Sparky kind of prefers. The old Season 1 magic. The way Vector would describe the first Paper Mario game, simpler. Alright, Vector, see you when we see you. Alright, Sparky, have yourself a good one. Hit the monkey target better than your opponents. I know you can do it. I guess you're not going to be here when we look at the airplane scene of your video, assuming that didn't end up on the cutting room floor. It's in an airplane. How far we've come in our technology and our civilization that you can just fly around in the sky for a price. You're gonna miss Sonic the Fighter's Blitz. Straight from the recommendation resume of JJ44, the one and only. Alright, I got the game open. But I would like you guys to see the intro. So let me just get rid of the Switch presents. This music is awesome. You're gonna hear it soon. Don't you worry. Da, 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 da. So let me close the game, reopen it, and then instantly switch back. Wackadude says that in Sonic Frontiers and Generation, Angel Island's music is screwed up and sounds like a bad Genesis emulator. That's unfortunate. I guess I didn't notice that. I think I unlocked Angel Island in, the museum or whatever. The Jukebox Museum. Where the hell is this game? Hit the button, and then this. Shit. Characters and locations owned by Sega. Yeah, does this music kind of evoke, I don't know, Street Fighter? What is it? Here I am. This is an ordinary tournament. Guys, the emeralds, huh? Look at those pizza tower teeth. Wow, it's got a cool kids bracket, DIY character icons. I just have to also change the stream category. I would think that this game is not having its own category, but you never know. Look at this menu. I'll just put Sonic the Fighters. Screw it. Yeah, I do like this music a lot, what I've heard so far. And yes, Stanley, this is a fan game indeed. Oh, no spoilers. Alright. So, let's glimpse the options. Open the video. Oh boy. Just need a moment here, team. I wish I could just undo this. Alright, I'll just pick it. Man, is it hot. Wackadude has not played Sonic the Fighters in a good while. Alright, blah blah blah. Alright, whatever. I don't know. I'm just gonna open the game again. Is that sound effect from Star Fox 64? That kind of... Alright, I'm gonna start with arcade mode. So we got a whole bunch of cool characters, including Bark and Bean, not to be confused with Jet the Hawk, SBO the Flippin' Chameleon. Amy Rose looks a little more punk rock than she typically does. Is that her nose, or does she have one of those pieces of tall grass in her mouth, like a farmer? Why is Knuckles all the way to the side? Eggman's got like a mech vehicle, kind of. Alright, you know who I'm playing as first. Tails. I'm just kidding. Look at Tails' arms. Just meditate on that for a moment. I'll put the... look at Tails. And Sonic's smile is pretty great. Guy looks a lot like Eggman. kind of loud on my end. Yeah, I don't know why my Sonic is brown. Wow, JJ said this didn't have a story the last time you played. Okay, so in this game, you do have a jump. Which you do by just, pressing up. Okay, there also is a dodge. So I can dodge. I think I just successfully dodged that. Wow. Alright, so Knuckles has charge attack. I don't know if I do too. So I also have a kick. And what else do I got? I don't know how I did that. I pinned Knuckles in the corner, baby. But yeah, JJ said this didn't have a story last time you played. I think this might technically be the Hyper Edition. I love the background with the Green Hill loop-de-loops and whatnot. So, I want to use my other move. Oh wow, I did a counterattack. Now he's blinking. I want to get the hang of the counterattack. Is that Knuckles that countered me that time? Okay, so there's a time limit, and just whoever has more hit points takes the prize. No, I don't want that. Leads to a pause. I'm gonna look at my button mappings here just one moment. LSD. JJ quite loves this art style, and I'm not surprised at all, given that you made another Sonic 2 remake. Let's see what H does. Now, I wonder if that's a special that I have? I really want to get a handle on these moves. I wonder if there's like a training mode. And I still want to know why my Sonic is brown. You got me fair and square. Wackadoo clarifies what stage stands for. Actually, let me get out. Menu. Okay, practice. Now, why is there two dudes? Oh, okay. Alright, so if I punch a few times and then hit that, it's kind of like a finisher. That's my dodge. And then there's my kick. Okay, yeah, you can see my special meters going down. I wonder if I then have to build it back up. Yeah, now it says 5 and 4. I wonder what that means. Is it gonna go back to 5? Yeah, I don't know what that 5 is. Ghost of Burb is back. Thinks this game looks real cool. Yeah, I'm impressed by this already. Whoa, Team Blast. Ah! Probably have a limited amount of those, maybe. How did I do that flying kick? Alright, so you can do mid-air punches. Mid-air kicks. Yeah, how did I do that? Looks like a dash. That's cool. Oh, okay. Wacko says that it's Sonic from the first issue of Sonic the Comic, where Sonic is brown. Wow, so that Sonic the Comic line, you know, issue 1, page 1 just starts with brown Sonic, and it probably flashes back to explain how he got brown, and then we see how he unbrowns himself. Alright, I'm gonna mess with this control mapping a little bit, because... what else can I put this on? So that is the dual attack. And then how about this? What's that one? Let me put this over here. Alright, so that's like a wind-up kick move. Kind of cool. So if I did punch kick. Alright, now I'm getting somewhere. And then I can dodge. Alright, I got a mid-air kick also. And that's the low kick. Knuckles is dodging it. Look at him. He's one step ahead of me. Alright, I think I want to give the main motor another shot now. Having sufficiently practiced. Yeah, I'll look at the moves list later. Story elements. Mid-air punches. Pretty badass. Dude, Knuckles is on top of it. This AI is impressive. I'm doing badly. That's a powerful move. That dodge looks so goddamn funny. You got me though. keeps getting the edge on me. How did I beat him so handily on the first attempt? Wow, he can fly across the screen like that. It's devastating. And very fitting of Knuckles' moveset. Mid-air kick. This AI is not messing around. Whoa. Knuckles always dodges those kicks. I'm gonna finish him off now. Ah, he went special. I got the last hit on him. Take that. Oh my god. Okay, so you have like a Smash Brothers roll where you can roll right by this jerk. Get to his other side, you know? Oh, he did his Falcon Punch. Sonic has a lot of rings to begin with. How did he block it? Ah, look at that jerk. Oh, I'll continue. What good that did. Yeah, Shadow Ops saw Sonic do a Shoryuken. The gang's all here. Hey, what's up, Denizen of Light? How you doing? Ask away. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Wackadude has a theory that Sonic Mania's Encore mode was meant to show Sega how Whitehead and his team would do with Knuckles Chaotix remake if they ever had plans. Why, because of the color scheme? So Stanley says he has been playing Super Mario Sunburn and Super Mario Eclipse. Yeah, what are those mods of Super Mario Sunshine or something else? Got him that time. Alright, Stanley says they are mods of Sunshine. And JJ finished up some Rocket League with Jay. I hope you got enough goals. Ah, okay. JJ wonders if what Wacko is talking about is just the idea of the team mechanic in Encore mode. Yeah, that Encore mode gives you kind of a lot more freedom because you're not tethered together. You can never get a kick on Knuckles. And JJ says, oh, okay. So the color of your character, such as the brown Sonic I have right now, is perhaps determined by the button that you used to select them. Alright, so if I lose this match, then maybe I'll try another mode. I don't know if there's a difficulty level, but I'm getting wrecked here. Did I counter those or not? So yeah, Denizen of Light over on YouTube recently became a patron for sheet music and the Music Theory 101 lessons. Yeah, so yeah, I can because they are available through Discord, but I can definitely send you a patron message. Because, yeah, the Patreon has its own DM system. So I would be happy to send it to you on there. If you send me a message, a DM on Patreon, then that will guarantee that I remember to send it to you. But yeah, I thank you for becoming a patron and looking into that stuff. Glad people are going to make use of it. Dude. Struck back. How's it going, Super CJK? Welcome to the Saturday Night Fever. There I go. Kyo says, does the match never end? Yeah, I keep losing and then it just has to restart. Let me see what's going on. Now, is there a difficulty setting? Games? Ah, okay. So maybe I'll soften, is 8 the highest, down to 1. I'll make it like 5. Time, I don't care about that stuff. Did it save? Yeah. And yeah, no problem, Denizen. Yep, I'll send you that soon. But yeah, glad you popped in. Yeah, Kyo thought it was a really low set. Kyo says lower the difficulty a bit more. Or should I go to 4? Now, his versus mode... This is maybe just so that I can play with a buddy. I'll do Sonic and Tails. How about Bark and Beam? Are these the different levels? Is this Sonic Advance 2? Ooh, Oil Ocean, Dynamite Plant. Aurora, Mushroom Hill. Let's go there. I love this artwork of the title cards. So now I have that Teen Blast attack. It's kind of cool. I'm kind of treading water now. So I can change. Oh! Okay, I'm very sorry. For whatever reason, the left trigger is pause. And I don't know how to undo that. Sorry, that was a big blue ball. Didn't mean to do that. So let me get revenge. Ah, shit. Oh no, this is fine. Let me get revenge. I just don't know how to change characters. Wow, look at Sonic's color scheme. Bombs. And I don't know what... See that shield comes up kind of like Smash? I don't know what I did to do that when I have the shield. Oh nice, JJ says this game has come a long way since JJ first tried it out a couple years back. Nostalgic Mushroom Hill background. I'm gonna go special, I'll go special. Wow, look at Bart. That's sick, the way he summoned Tails. Should've won that one. Yeah, baby. I got 44k points. Shadow Ops saw the bug out. And I almost accidentally exited again. Wacko figures that Santa Bark is a reference to one of the Bark skins in Sega Crossover Fighter for the Saturn that featured Bark and Beam. I haven't seen that one. Somehow I'm countering. Yeah, JJ says Tails' color scheme is very Marine the Raccoon. This iteration. Oh, you can get a good kick. Whoa, that sound effect's awesome. Trying to get away from Barky. Barky's world. Shadow Op says, do your button config. What do you mean what I should do with the button configuration? Oh, you can have ducking attack, ducking kicks. Alright, I won. Granted, it was difficulty 4, but I'm still proud. Alright, let me try and play as someone else. I want to see Amy get in on the action. Amy, there's no other cute characters? No Omochao or Big? No Big. Metal Sonic would be a nice juxtaposition of duality. I guess Barkin Bean, Espio, because I don't know. So now let's fight evil characters. Eggman and Metal. Okay, Kyo points out, that makes sense, that this is basically, if not the exact roster of Sonic the Fighters. Yeah, Big wasn't born yet. I just, because this is the Hyper Edition, I figured anything goes, but I ain't. Alright. Dynamite, I'm kind of curious. Alright, Casino Night. Can't say no to that. Wow, look at that hammer time, baby. That's a cool move. You hit down and then kick. She does like a very dangerous dashing kick. I like this frantic music. Dude, see that? Was doing a wind-up. Totally interrupted it. Heavily calculated. Isn't that sound effect just a delight? Alright, so her big kick is not this big jumping move like Sonic's is. Now, did I switch to SBO? I don't know how I did that. Let's bring in Amy for a team blast. Dude, the SBO's karate chops are so, like, you know, proper form kung fu. I love it. I agree with Kyo that the hammer seems pretty darn good. Give up, Eggman. Wow, did you see that? Falcon. Punch. Alright, so Eggman is just straight up out of the game. I kicked his A's dead back. Like a floor kick that I did. That pose by SBO is so great. It's so, like, lifelike. Shadow Op says, you get the pause menu, there's a button config. Right, but what are you suggesting that I change in the button config? JJ loves Amy's design in this game. JJ says, give him an Amy platformer with this art style and you'll be happy. Well, you know what they say, JJ. Be the game you want to see on your Sage 2025 highlight reel. Which is to say, yeah, you can manifest the game into existence by making it. But of course, I'm kidding when I say that. But you should plant that idea in the mind of the community so someone does it of their own accord with no development costs to you. Whoa, did you see that cool move? I want to figure out how to change characters too. Wailing on Eggman. Whoa, did you see that twisty flip move throw? Yeah, that double kick is pretty sick. Oh, what the? We both countered, we? Yeah, Amy looks incredible. This is a riot. Wackadude doesn't know why, but you prefer Tails with the Azlid blue shoes opposed to the red ones. They look more unique than the red ones, as Sonic has red shoes. You gotta have shoe differentiation, I agree. I'm gonna play as Fang, because I want to see what kind of gun gimmicks he has. I'll give him some bean backup. But yeah, I want to quickly figure out how to change characters mid-bat, because I did it once by accident. Sonic the Fighters, Blitz, controls. Alright, switch is T. So maybe I will map that to select, since that's a selecty type of action that doesn't need to be in the prime real estate face buttons. See if that works. The GOAT Classic character, Fang, hell yeah. JJ is gonna heat up some curry, and I'm jealous. Let's get Eggman back. Eggman with Knuckles before Knuckles figured out that Eggman's lying to him, you know? Death Egg's eye, that's cool for later. Giant wing, how about Canyon Cruise? Alright, let's bang back. Wow, he has that long jumping kick. It's using his pogo tail bit. Alright, let's switch. Damn it, didn't work. But what if I press it on my actual keyboard? No, it's not working. Wow, does that gun have distance? Yeah, it does. Fang's really strong as his moves have such big range. Whoa, somehow I did that pogo. Wow, I can keep bouncing. Who is that? Egg Robo Assist? You can't dodge it. shots from up in midair. That's cool. Fang's laugh is awesome. I don't know how I switched. Whoa, did you see that move from Angel Island Act 2's boss? The fireball that came down diagonally, but then when it hit the ground, it starts moving horizontally. Gary, it's just like Sonic 3. Okay, so that's the grab move. That's like when Sonic does his spin dash thing. Come on, Eggman, stop hitting yourself. Whoa, did you see that marching kick bit? What's the word speed? Was that always there? Or I just only now notice it? Big wind-up punch. Ah, look at his victory pose. Who haven't I used? I'm gonna play as Metal as a goof. Whoops. Whatever. Amy and Tails. What the hell? Alright, let's do Dynamite Plant now. I don't think we did this one. I'm going to YouTube chat back. Oh, okay. Yeah, Shadow Off saying Trigger had a wrong command. Alright, yeah, I can at least glimpse at it. Here, let me go back. So Tails' propeller isn't going for the next... Oh, no, it stopped. Actually... Oh, this is no good. Oh, I just... let's see... Yeah, I just royally screwed that up. I can always... Oh yeah, it's totally screwed now. Let me open the game. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. I assume it didn't save that. And if it did, I'm boned. Yeah, so I don't know how much more mileage we'll get out of this, but... Yeah, we could even go right into song requests if you guys want. And then maybe finish the rest of the stream with Sark Transformed. Or maybe even first, Subsonic's video. What do I need? Stanley says Discord now has ads in the form of quests. Do tell. And yeah, JJ wonders if anyone disclosed the length of Subsonic's video. If they did, I missed it. My guess, though, is 1 hour and 55 minutes. I don't know if you were here for that. That was my guess. Nowhere near. So is it 3 hours? If it's 7 hours, how many hours is the Collision Chaos segment? Stanley says more. 7 hours and 45 minutes? Do you yet know why it's that length? It's an audiobook, I guess. Where the hell's the game? Yeah, what can someone say about Collision Chaos after the first 10 minutes of talking about Collision Chaos? 7 hours and 45 minutes. What is that a satire of? Boogie 2988? And how long into the video do we get to the airplane scene? Where the hell is this game? People are waiting. All right, JJ has gotten through 3 hours and 45 minutes so far. All right, JJ says there's a lot of good stuff in it, honestly. So that's an encouraging start. Ghost of Burbs back in the house. Now, interesting. Over on YouTube, Devin John says, have I played Sonic 2 Recreation? No, I'm not even think I heard of that. What is that? Were we just talking about some Sonic? Oh, no, it was Sonic CD Miracle Edition. I wonder if Subsonic's video talks about Sonic CD Restored, or if it talks about Miracle Edition. Yeah, JJ says that Sparky really delves into how the game got its rep. And his own story with Sonic. It was a good listen. Yeah, I assume that involves the airplane. That was the main iconic, shot that I remember from his 2-minute preview. Alright, interesting. Devin says that Sonic 2 Recreation is like Sonic 2, but combined with some Sonic Advance elements. That sounds pretty cool. JJ, have you ever come across that? Because I would totally stream that. Sonic 2 Recreation. Alright, JJ says Restored gets a passing mention because of the speedrun segment. Yeah, I think that sound effect is from Star Fox. Alright, I'll do at least a couple more battles. Devin John says, I won't believe who made it. I'm gonna guess Christian Whitehead's brother. Thank you, Alex. Alright, let's do Sonic and Knuckles, just like the 1994 video game. Oh, okay, Wackadude name drops who made it. It was actually Red Hot Sonic. Wow, nice. High praise from JJ saying, Subsonic Sparky could be in game development, honestly. This video is giving you so many good ideas for future games. Very cool. I'm sure Subsonic's feeling the love. Oh, and I forgot to do the bit. The bit was going to be, the day after Subsonic's video drops, I asked JJ, like, hey, congrats on the new video. As a callback to the week of, what was it, the Sonic Unleashed video? Maybe Subsonic never had an Xbox, I don't blame him. Alright, let's just fight Double Dr. Eggman because I'm mad at Eggman, and I'm mad at the game accidentally getting the controls reset. Ah, look at Egg, he's not even in a, oh no, he is in the Egg Wreck. Oh, you choose a different move at the beginning. Whoa, he's got that Wrecking Ball attack. It's kind of sick. Oh, maybe the difficulty is back to 8. Whoa, did you hear that sound effect? Now, Devin John on YouTube says, for some reason, this art style looks like Braz Sonic. Is Braz Sonic an iconic fan game or something? Whoa, I got frozen. This game has so many surprises. Stanley says Subsonic is not a small channel. You mean the newly rebranded Sparky's World? Angel Island Fireballs. Whoa, Pile Driver. I'm getting wrecked. Oh, okay, maybe the way that I switched characters before was just because my lead character ran out of hit points. I love this Knuckles with Bark the Beans color. JJ would say technically Subby Sub is a small channel, but you know, a bigger small channel. He's on his way to becoming a medium channel like Alex. Stick around here in the zone for more mid-level mediocrity. I'm just kidding, man. I got my proud 40K. And I know, JJ. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, I remember one of my earliest YouTube inspirations, Pruane 2 Forever. One time, he was just a very early YouTube video blogger. He would just talk about his life. He was in like middle school into high school at his prime of making YouTube videos. And one day he posts a video that's titled, "Someone sent me a strange package in the mail." And so he makes a video unboxing these mysterious objects that it turned out it was kind of a promotion ARG for a video game. And so someone commented in the comments, they're like, wow, this game company is just using mid-level channels to promote their video game. And Pruane responded to the comment, he's like, mid-level channel, you. Dude, we should watch some Pruane 2 Forever. Just so that you guys get an essential slice of Alex Yard's own history, because, yeah, there's nothing about Pruane 2 Forever's style or identity that necessarily influenced any of my content, but I do give very direct credit where it's deserved. With looking at Pruane 2 Forever's videos, it's like, oh wow, this is what YouTube can be. I could do this. Hey, what's up, Polar Wildcat Studio? Welcome to Sonic My Fighters Blitz. It's got a lot more story elements since the last time JJ gave it a whirl. Devin John adds, this Knuckles looks like Gru from Trowel Hands. All I know is Gru from Despicable Us, but I never saw a Despicable We. Nor have I seen any standalone Minions film. Yeah. I don't think I've seen any Despicable Them or any adjacent content to that series, because I don't have nieces or nephews of a certain age. For that matter, I don't have nieces or nephews, which is a pretty bogus ripoff. Wow, JJ once cosplayed as Gru for Minions Day at the McDonald's he worked at. Wow. Is there a Minions Happy Meal that they picked a day for everyone to dress in a way that promotes that corporation's standalone feature film? JJ has a warm hello with Tails and his Miles Electric AS2R, another Sonic 2 remake style. Stanley wonders if I've seen the new movie. Is the new movie Despicable Me 4? I think I've seen, promotions. Because there are bananas. I don't work at the produce section at my daytime gig, but I do see the produce stuff, and there's a lot of bananas, boxes of bananas that have very prominent Despicable Me 4 insignia, only in theaters. JJ gonna have to dig out that photo for his embarrassing photo collection. Sonic the Fighter Blitz. Alright, I'm dying. I guess I'll do at least one more match. I guess it'll get in the most mileage that we can get. I like the SBO's moves. And Amy is great. Yeah, Polar Wildcat says Knuckles in Bark's color scheme makes him look like a fan character. Welcome to OC Central. Alright, let's have Goodnight Bark and Goodnight Fang. I don't know if I fought Fang yet. I only fought as Fang. Alright, Flying Carpet. I think that's from the original. What the hell? Alright, who did I pick? Ames and I forget who it was. Fang. I don't quite remember. SBO's cool. Let's have a Goodnight Bean. Polar Wildcat spotted Amy's longer nose. Alright, yeah, I think this might be the last fight. Unless anyone has an incredible suggestion. Which sometimes you guys do. Look at the Sphinx in the back with the Sonic, you know, quills and everything. It's amazing. Stanley, have you seen Despicable Me 4? And if so, how does it stack up against 3? Is 3 a polarizing Despicable Me? The one with the South Park guys doing the voice of the bad guy or the bad guy's twin or something? He says, any suggestions? Yeah, something to do within this game as an end cap before we wander into all range mode. Oh, I was looking at the wrong character. Wow, Polar Wildcat says, did you know that September 9th will be the 25th anniversary of the launch of the Dreamcast? Wow. That's true, because of course, no one that was around and sentient in the 90s could possibly forget the iconic North American Dreamcast launch press materials for $99.99. So, of course, my next question for JJ is, did the Dreamcast come out in the UK on $99.99? I died. Wow, I can keep doing that? He doesn't stand to this. Oh, I can bounce in both directions. This game has a very impressive amount of depth to the different moves that there are. 25 years. Goes to Burbs. To wrap your mind around that 20 years, 25 years is pretty nuts. Yeah, I wish I could say more, But as a stream exclusive little tidbit, let's just say that the Alex Yard Adventure video that I'm working on, especially this past week, let's just say it touches upon the Dreamcast launch in a major way. It's not a video about Dreamcast, but there's your little hint. Much as I'd like to say more. Interesting, JJ says that the Dreamcast was pretty much unknown to you as a kid. The only time you saw one was in a demo booth at Brewster's, with Disney's Atlantis as the game. No kidding, yeah, I was very well in tune. And I mean, I'm a little bit older than JJ, but not by that much. But yeah, the Dreamcast for me... Yeah, I mean, if JJ had a Master System, then he would have been video game-osity sentient enough to at least be in the position to be exposed to Dreamcast marketing materials. We had commercials for the Dreamcast ad nauseum. So many Dreamcast commercials. It's thinking. Alright, that was the last match. So, yeah, you guys want to do a song request now? Yeah, Keo was saying, you think it came out in October in the UK. JJ says, you think general consumers forgot about Sega after support for the Saturn was unfairly ended by Sega of America? Oh, I have to keep my lips sealed, but there's more I could say. What I will say is what JJ went on to say. Because the Saturn was a success in the UK first, but then SOA killed support. Yeah, I'll leave it to Keo. If this is an okay time for a song request, we can start off with that. Yeah, this is an unusual stream. We'll probably get some, a little bit of Goodnight, start Transformed later. But I would be very open to a quick sampling of Sparky's Sonic CD video, and just the novelty of seeing it at 7 hours and 3/4 hours. Alright, Keo's ready to blast some tunes. Let's do it, baby. Ignore the timer you see before you. And thank you for the blessings. Yeah, so I might as well go to just chatting mode. Make it official. Just chatting. Wow, 30 million followers. I'm bound to get some traffic. Wow, Keo repping that gamer cred. Keo got a Dreamcast on launch day with Sonic Adventure and Soul Calibur. That is a killer lineup to kick things off. I didn't realize that Soul Calibur was a launchy. But make no mistake, Stanley had fur fighters on the Dreamcast. Was that like Street Fighter, but more kid-friendly and fur elements? Furry anthropomorphic creatures? Alright. Be graced by this song. If anyone could guess this, I would guess that it's... Oh, hey, what's up there, Bruno? If anyone's gonna guess this, I would say Serious Sam. Nice, Third Bruno, just had your last day at the water park for the year. Now, the way you worded it, does that mean that you typically go, a couple times per summer or whatever? I know what these lyrics are, and soon you all will too. So yeah, it's not Hatton time. Alright, Third Bruno goes multiple times per year to the water park. So the question is the movie Grown Ups in your DVD Blu-ray collection? Because that has extended scenes at a water park. And I may have said that it was the water park that I used to always go to as a kid because it's in Massachusetts. Keo says, okay, yeah, look up the gameplay. Stanley says deadlock. So yeah, maybe we'll have no takers for this time. JJ says the only other thing you remember seeing Dreamcast iconography as a kid was when a certain football team had logo on they strips as Sega sponsored them. And so that, there's a couple things that any Americans in the audience need to decode. One is that if JJ saw the Dreamcast logo on a football player, then it was probably blue, right? Because I think the Dreamcast logo was blue in the UK, but orange in the United States. Furthermore, the other thing that Obamaites have to decode is football. Actually, we goofily call that soccer. But it's just football. It's not actually soccer. Yup, Keo says it was blue in Europe. Yeah, that's where the UK is. Polar Wildcat confirms that Europe had that blue swirl indeed. But we needed the red, intense orange. Alright, yeah, Stanley guesses Bayonetta. It's not our little ammo abandoned bit, but it's not Bayonetta. Looks up gameplay. Oh, the Wildcat is guessing they made it blue as a marketing tactic to make it appeal to its European audience. Well, sure, but I have to wonder what about blue is just more appealing to the United Kingdom gaming consumer base. Alright, I found a long play. Interesting. Hello, Barry. Barry says that the Dreamcast logo was blue for copyright reasons. Alright, so before I reveal the gameplay, Keo is going to drop, a big hint that nearly gives it away. Although the hint that I'm now seeing doesn't give it away for me, but it might for you. Keo says that this game is in fact a spiritual sequel to Mad World. Wow, is another hint that it was made by Platinum Games? Because they make good games. Have you ever played Metal Gear Solid Rising? It's pretty phenomenal. I gotta wishlist that. I played on Xbox, but I think it's on Steam too if you get it. Today's footage, courtesy of Lacrae. Actually, I think I should be able to bring this up without spoiling the name of the game. You thought that was tight? You ain't seen nothing yet. Alright, check this out. So there's your Platinum Games logo, I'm 90% sure. Yeah, Polar Wildcat thought it had to do with branding strategies, but yeah, again, what about blue is more suitable for the UK? And also, that would make sense if they changed it to blue. If there was already another company that used a red or orange spiral, maybe they had to make it blue to differentiate it. Okay, Third Bruno found documentation on Logopedia that it was blue in Europe because a German game publisher had an orange swirl first. Wow. So it was specifically a video game. Well, you just said game. It could be board games, but still. Gaming entertainment. Even in that subgenre of LLCs, there was already a red or orange spiral. Yeah, JJ said you need to play Mad World, one of those bargain bin Wii games. Now, while we're on the topic, Stanley, did you see the Borderlands movie? And what was your experience with it? Alright, so Theo reveals that this game is called Anarchy Reigns, and the song is of course called Play My Ass Off. Hell yeah. Look, if you can say the word ass in that movie, that kids movie called Jack Frost where a snowman comes to life, I think it's fine to include here in the zone, baby. Let me get the attribution of justice though. And we've arrived. Alright, yeah, Keo suggests skip ahead for gameplay. Get some of this combat. Alright, so it's a street brawler. Streets of Rage 3D. I'm just kidding, man. Jay says this game looks too try-hard edgy for you. Why? Because it says ass in the song title. Wow, it's as edgy as that children's film Jack Frost where a snowman comes to life. I'm just kidding, man. Alright, now JJ can see the Mad World connections. Yeah, Yoshi was getting Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, just like I was mentioning. So yeah, I'm not familiar. I can't remember what Sundown. I did play and beat Rising Revengeance, but yeah, this is a Platinum Games developed game, so that would make sense if they would kind of use a similar look for this or that reason. Alright, Third Bruno. This is essential gaming history we've unearthed today through the Third Bruno's research. We're saying the other company was called Tivola. They published video games, and they had the orange spiral first. Or red or whatever. Yoshi says that would make sense. No wonder Sundowner joined Armstrong. One of my favorite parts of Platinum Games' Metal Gear Rising Revengeance was when Raiden rode that drone to get to Pakistan in 12 hours by entering orbit. It was pretty sick. Alright, Third Bruno shared that competing logo in our Discord server. Alright, boo, Ghost of Burb has to leave. Boo, leaving. But yeah, have a good night, Ghost of Burb. Give the Burbs my regards. And you're very welcome to the stream. Always great to have you. Alright, sweet. Third Bruno put it in the video games. So I could actually glimpse it right now because my internet connection is active.
Oh, well, you thought that was tight?
You thought that was tight?
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that does look similar. Granted, it's just a spiral, but... I wonder if they made any games for the Dreamcast.
Okay.
So you would see their logo in orange and then the Dreamcast logo in blue. Runs daily, we ain't need that. Look at their hazmat suits. They look like anteater ant lions or something. Yeah, this is Platinum Games through and through. It says, what was that ad for? A gummy with everything in it. You just eat a couple gummies and it covers all your food groups for the day, and you don't feel hungry. You can get that over the counter 50 years from now, but today it's a whole ordeal. Pardon me. So yeah, definitely got some racing tonight. And I'm down for having, a prize every week. Maybe not 5,000, maybe tonight will be 3,000. But yeah, EB Boy took the prize last week. Whoa, look at this awesome Tears of the Kingdom fuse weapon. You fuse a stick with a massive rock with shrapnel sticking out of it. You got yourself emergent gameplay. Now, Keo, what is this song? Is this the intro song or like a boss theme? Oh wow, and it even has the Metal Gear Rising concept of slicing your enemy in dynamic ways. Keo really wishes that this game got a re-release on modern platforms. Really fun, badass simulator online. Keo adds it's one of several Brawl songs. Alright, so it's a song that kicks in when you are fighting a Brawl. Main Mission 1, the King of... Did that say Ashura? Not at all, Alex. Alright, Keo says the song also plays during a PvP tiebreaker duel. It has sprinting, just like Gears of War. Alright, should I skip to mid-game combat? Now, is this a different character you're playing as? Whoa, that was a cool visor right out of Revengeance. I'm seeing some common threads, let me tell you. Long dialogue. JJ says, yeah, you want to play Sure That Bad, huh? A little birdie told me that it was pretty soon. We may discuss... Man. Yeah, this looks just like Raiden's Ninja Sprint. Let's see how much Revengeance is on Steam. It's my new morning tradition. When I wake up, before I get out of bed, I search on my phone for Pac-Man World Repack to see if it's on sale. Let's check right now. You're not invited. No, it's not on sale. But how about Metal Gear Rising? My sweet boy. Alright, $30, just like Repack. I will have to wishlist that puppy. Yoshi says, I should definitely play Ashura's Wrath. Now, is that the kind of Bowser's Fury that's coming out with the base game demo at Sage? Third Bruno, cannot believe this month is over already. Your last patron song request feels kind of recent. Yet, you might get to do another next week. Thus is the magic of the zone. The weeks go fast, but the days go so slow. That great Modest Mouse song. Wow, does he even have blades on his feet? This really is more and more... Not even that it's a bad thing, just a lot of overlap with Revengeance. This looks like Dark Souls, but not. JJ wonders if the original No More Heroes game is good. Discuss. Eating stuff but don't stop. Yeah, JJ says, Ashura, Alex's wrath of being lost, and it being nothing like the prototype. Yeah, and I was at work yesterday, and, my mind wanders, and I was thinking, yeah, when I first get my hands on Ashura, it's not gonna be lightning bolt action. It's gonna be that much more slower and deliberate and puzzle-based, but that's the intended first dose. That's, right? You only get to do that once. You only get to unravel the mystery. It takes more than one session, but it's just my first several playthroughs of Sonic CD were so memorable because I was going on an adventure through the fog of the unknown and having aha moments in my travels. And yeah, by its nature, that's how Ashura starts. It's a lot of, backtracking, thinking, trying to piece things together. And I can't wait. Nice. JJ just finished the final playtest today in just over an hour. JJ figures that for first-time players, it'll be about 3 to 4 hours. Very cool. Alright, it's official. JJ linked it on JJ's Discord server. I will be on top of that real soon. Keo says if you ever run out of new games to suggest, you might revisit this one. Soundtrack is chock full of good ones. Glad to hear that. Oh, and I'll just quickly mention out of nowhere that a couple days ago when we did the patron-only stream, we did a creator commentary for none other than the music theory video for Hydro City Hydrocity. And it was great. I think I'm going to send that out to patrons tomorrow. Just as a quick update. Like to give the patrons at least a general update at the top of the month when I can. So I'll just gently plug that great commentary for the Hydro City video. That was an important video. It was momentous. Alright, make sure the player in this gameplay defeats this boss. And when I get back, I think we should look at Sparky's video. We can just watch the first couple hours of it. And then, in my indulgent tangent, I want to show you the Wayne 2 Forever video since he had a formative impact on my decision to start YouTubing. And then we'll wrap up with some races in Start Transform. So in the meantime, the question on everyone's mind is, as Keo wonders, is the Ashura test version a closed doors type of thing? Well, apparently there's a link to it on JJ's server, so since JJ's server is not gated by money, anyone who's in the JJ zone has access to it, I assume. Alright, scratch that. It's a closed door kind of thing for playtesters and Open Surge members. So because I applied to be an official playtester a couple years ago, I'm kind of grandfathered into that. But wow, JJ says that I, Alex, get exclusive pre-sage rights to share gameplay. So does that mean that I'm free to stream it? Like, technically, could I stream it today? Not that I will, but just so that I understand my pre-sage rights properly. Alright. So, thank you very much for the song request and this delightful Platinum Games awesomeness, Keo. It makes me want to get back Revengeance.
Oh, well, you thought that was tight?
Thought
Oh,
that
you ain't
was tight.
seen nothing yet. Do a quick stretch. Yeah.
Alright. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna go to Sparky's World. So it's like when I talk to Sparky, am I talking to Sparky or am I talking to Sparky's World? Sparky's Wild. I don't even know the name of the video. Alright, Sonic CD, the unsung masterpiece. 7 hours, 45 minutes. Why not? Alright. So let me open it up. I can't resist, but I want to at least hear the very beginning, just, this momentous video that's been in development since prehistory. I want to see if he does the Ron Howard bit of, after all this anticipation hype build-up, if the very first line of the video, he kind of like coughs, has to clear his throat, and then say it again. Keo says, bring Anarchy Reigns to stream plays. I can at least do Revengeance. JJ says that I could technically play it and stream it tonight. JJ didn't want to directly ask, but you understand that the stream was already planned, and I was under the impression that it would be finished next week. Yeah, so we'll talk tonight, JJ, but yeah, I would be definitely excited to stream some of it in the near future, assuming you're on board with that. All right. So let's start this up. Is the most anticipated video in the entire Sonic CD community going to start with a false start where you have to clear your throat and start again? But let's get the legitimate Sparky's World attribution. The rebranding of a generation. Here we go. I would like to make sure that I have enough audio leveling.
Sonic the Hedgehog CD is my favorite video game of all time, and there's no quick answer as to why.
Out of all the games and IPs, now, does he have automated captions or pristine, self-confirmed captions?
I like to tell people it's because the
Alright, it's automated. Unless I can change. Yeah, doing 7 hours of captions, that's a big lift.
game is dense, which is another way of saying it'll take 2 hours or so before really getting to the heart of the matter. Nobody's gonna get this reference. Have you ever had that feeling that a work...
Wait, he's starting off the video with something that most people won't get? Uh-oh.
Which is another way of saying it'll take 2 hours or so before really getting to the heart of the matter. Nobody's gonna get this reference. Have you ever had that feeling...
Did you at least get the reference? Alright, 17 seconds in, and here comes the anime.
That a work was made for you? Where all the pieces just fit together and everything is in its right place. Every facet, every choice, every last detail is exactly what it should be. How often can we really say we've come across a piece of media like that? Personally, in my life, these kinds of miracle works are few and very...
Look, right off the bat, I'll say the vibe is great, his voice sounds great, the delivery, the flow, this is encouraging.
Far between, so I'm definitely protective of the ones I do have. In fact, the older I get, the more infrequent these kinds of works become, which is a real shame. Maybe I'm just not as adventurous as I used to be. But I also think it's probably inevitable. right? It can't be
Is that Sparky's new avatar?
adventurous as I used to be. But I also think it's probably inevitable.
Who's this? And what's the mushroom coming out of the mouth?
Right? It can't be overstated just how big a role the stuff we're exposed to in our formative years end up shaping our tastes and values.
JJ says, Subsonic, if you're watching, JJ understands why this took so long. Kudos for the research and watching so many people play CD, including me.
We like to think we get more sophisticated as we get older, and we do in some ways, but we can also get a lot more rigid in our assessments of worth and quality. Maybe it's unreasonable of me to expect something brand new to reach me on that same raw emotional level, like the stuff that got to me when I was young. But then there's another kind of work. The kind that doesn't really reflect your pre-existing ideas of quality at all, but through its sheer power and brilliance, it opens your mind and changes your tastes. This is the kind of work we'll be discussing today. Sonic CD is a weird game. Like, truly bizarre. Amongst the 16-bit Sonic the Hedgehog family, this game is, was, and likely will always be the
Yeah, JJ says these will be just references to manga and anime that Subsonic likes. Alright, so that stuff is in here, not for us, but for Subsonic specifically. Got it. JJ says he's been talking about this as long as we've been... yeah, he has been, you know, talking up this video since his entire Zone journey.
Black Sheep, the outlier. As you're likely aware, Sonic CD as well as Sonic 2
Subsonic's room confirmed.
Fill the role of equal yet opposite sequels to the original Sonic the Hedgehog. They're like twins separate.
Keo says, you sure the Black Sheep isn't 3D Blast? Yeah, I guess he meant it as mainline entries. Alright, JJ says, it's like how I put the Sopranos in everything. We all make our art for ourselves, don't we? Well, you can't point to any video I've made that has more than one Sopranos reference. And, yeah, when I put Tony Soprano in the boat, it's because it's a double entendre about the topic at hand, which is Shadow the Hedgehog's controls.
Separated at birth and raised by two different families on opposite ends of the planet. But for as much as you'd expect them to have in common, they couldn't be more different from one another. Sonic 2, the beloved, iconic, console-defining side-scroller, perhaps the title that represents better than any other the absolute peak of Sega in the global market. Then there's the bizarre, obtuse little riddle of a game that is Sonic CD. To borrow an analogy once employed by Derek Buck in comparing Majora's Mask to Ocarina of Time, if Sonic 2 is a Hollywood blockbuster, Sonic CD is that weird little indie flick that swept the awards season, but like 10 people actually saw. And only 4 people understood. As such, Sonic CD's always been left out in the cold. Never invited to the reindeer games, never entitled to the same respect and consideration of other mainline Sonic titles. It didn't even get invited to the Symphony, and yet the game still has this wonderful mystique about it.
Not at first. Did he add a text?
It didn't even get invited.
Yeah, it got eventually put in, but I guess Subster didn't have the budget to patch in the recent... Look, the point stands. It wasn't in the initial Sonic Symphony.
To the Symphony, and yet the game still has this wonderful mystique about it.
JJ says, by sharing our interests, we hope others will seek them out too. Well, all I'll say is that seeing all these random things at the very beginning makes me not want to seek them out, because I'm like, why are we having a big highlight reel of non-Sonic things? Look, I know I'm giving my typical brutal, unfiltered reactions, but JJ says it's subtle and you like this kind of personalization. Others will get the references for sure, and that's fine. The imagery the clips use, yeah. All the imagery, it's not that they're here out of nowhere. Every South Park clip that he shows is at least relevant to, you know, what he's talking about. But I should probably have at least somewhat of a day one filter.
There's something to be said for the fact that of the untold hundreds of games I've played over the years, this one consistently comes out on top. You never quite know how CD's gonna sit with an audience. Of all the classic Sonic games, this has always been the one in which opinions are most likely to grow and evolve over time. With that said, I still do find as of late that the discourse around the game has stagnated to a disappointing degree. Bring up Sonic CD in a crowded room of Sonic fans, and you can count the seconds on your fingers before you'll be inundated by the same old cliches and talking points. Exploration, weird level design, trippy graphics, Sonic 1 on steroids. For a game so ridiculously inspired, the way we talk about it has become quite rote and predictable. You're either on one side of the aisle making identical points or the other. With all due respect to the folks who've brought the conversation as far as it's come.
Wow, this exists? Post-millennials having, an earnest roundtable about Sonic CD? That's kind of awesome.
Over the years, it's like the game has become trapped in this box of consensus. Now obviously consensus is a useful thing, but it also has a tendency to get a little too rigid over time. When certain talking points become so naturalized and accepted that we just find ourselves repeating them without a second thought, it can create this illusion that the topic is now a solved issue that doesn't need to be investigated any further. And this is Sonic the Hedgehog we're talking about. I think anyone who's ever been a fan of this franchise knows exactly what it's like to see something you love be at the mercy of a tired, lazy consensus. It's a particular shame for me, since this might just be the game that got me so interested in video game analysis in the first place. If ever there was a 90s platformer begging you to crack it open and suck the juices out, it's this one. As such, Sonic CD has come to represent this burden for me. Every time I'd look at the game, or see conversations about it, I'd feel this pressure. I knew I had so much to say, so much to contribute to the topic, and seemingly no—
Kyo is amazed to see the intro on real hardware. Imagine that. Kyo's also vibing with the trippy
one was
art.
going to say these things for me. So today, I intend to take a closer look at Sonic CD than perhaps anyone in human history ever has, in an attempt to convey why this game means so much to me. If you're not the type that enjoys listening to someone ramble about Sonic for half a millennia, then this video may not be for you. If you're like me, however, and live for content like this, then grab—
Yeah, look, the fact of the matter is, using other people's, footage and animations and imagery, that's very common. And a lot of viewers, enjoy that perfectly well. I don't, but I'm only one person. To JJ's point about sharing our interests, we hope others will seek them out too. I would like to think that my few recurring Sopranos little Easter eggs will, right, to JJ's point, be like, wow, Alex really likes the Sopranos, so maybe if he likes it that much, I ought to check. Well, but here we are 4 minutes into the video, and we've seen like 40 other properties, so all we can really say is that Subsonic likes animation without, I don't know. I'm just, this is just my filter. Yeah, JJ says, you use this technique rather sparingly, to be honest, but it's not a turnover when other editors are overzealous. Yeah, so it is a turn-off for me personally, but I know that it's a turn-on and is, an important engine of many a content space. Yeah, JJ says, your top 10 video has a few clips related to what you're talking about.
Video may not be for you. If you're like me, however, and live for content like this, then grab a drink and strap in.
And I think the solution, so my solution for this, no offense to Subster, but my solution is to just listen to the video. Personally, I find this exhausting. The idea that I have to recalibrate my mind to a new setting and say, oh, what is this? What is the purpose of this? Right? That it's just not for me through and through.
Because I've got a lot to say, and I intend to be very thorough. But because analysis is so personal and subjective, none of this really means anything without some context. So if I might be so bold, I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey. I know we all hate the obnoxious video essay preamble, but considering this is the very first time I've discussed video games on this channel, and the sheer magnitude of the topic at hand, it just wouldn't feel right to not properly set the table before we enjoy the meal. So if you'll permit me, I've got a medium-sized prologue in store. I promise it'll be worth it. Just trust me, please. Now, when I was a little lad growing up with my trusty...
So I assume, this will get to the airplane. Yeah, JJ really pretty much mostly listened to this while developing and you only watched it when he showed gameplay, when he had a point to make, or other people's clips, which will make sense the deeper I get into it. All right, I look forward to it. But yes, hello, Eevee Boy. So, Eevee Boy, this is formerly known as Subsonic Sparkle, who is now Sparky's World. His 7-hour Sonic CD video finally dropped. Imagine that. Here it is, the much-anticipated this. Yeah, we did do a music request, but we are going to do a second one toward the end. So if you want to ring the golden bell, you definitely could, Eevee Boy.
PlayStation 2, my whole conception of gaming was built around a single genre, the colorful mascot platformer. Everything else was just a side dish.
Wow, and he had no idea probably that they were about to announce that Croc remaster?
If it didn't have some cartoony running and jumping, I frankly wasn't interested. And by me...
Yeah, so Eevee Boy says, oh, for real? You didn't know Subsonic was making high-quality stuff. Well, that's the thing, though. He hasn't made anything in 6 years, and he's not going to make anything in the near future. So all we get to cherish is this, 8-hour deep dive, which, hey, it's a video.
I mean my brother. I was pretty young. First it was Crash Bandicoot and Rayman, maybe a little Klonoa on the side. Then we started getting stuff like Ratchet and Jack, even cooler games with even bigger worlds.
A video from the heart indeed, confirms Keo.
One day, I vividly remember seeing a TV ad for a game called Sonic.
So that's hilarious because, after I grew up with Sonic, the ads, the TV advertisements for Heroes were what caused me to jump ship and not return for a while. JJ says, you bet your ass he'll be making more videos if this one is successful. I have no doubt that he intends, but it's not. He's made it perfectly clear that this video is essentially the end of a hiatus and the beginning of a new hiatus.
Heroes.
In 1991, the supersonic hero was born. Today, still wanted the world over. He works as part of a crack team.
I don't know what this is.
Jumping games I'd come across, this was definitely the best of everything. I eventually got to try the game for myself at a friend's house, and the menus alone completely floored me. The colors, the energy, the characters, the music. It's like this feel-good event.
Does Subsonic still like Heroes?
And it was just spellbinding for an 8-year-old. Needless to say, I got the game for myself and absolutely loved it. No matter what you think of Sonic Heroes today, or what I think of Sonic Heroes today, in 2004, this game was a miracle. This explosion of color and speed and variety. It had such a fun, happy vibe to it, which put me in a great mood.
Keo says, help. Were we not gonna talk about CD? What do you mean? Are you getting frustrated by this this big lead up? Yeah, I didn't have a plan of how much to watch. Let's see. Sonic 1 changed everything. The Heart of Sonic 1. Shortcomings and sequels. Sonic CDs. All right, let's just get to the big claim. Sonic CD's fatal flaw.
So to say that Sonic CD fails at level design due to the different choices it made compared to 2 and 3...
Wait, when did he say that?
Sonic CD fails at playstyles, but actually nothing but the game's emergent design and mechanics. This is yet more evidence to these stages being extremely fluid and adaptable, not only accommodating multiple playstyles, but actually flourishing under them. So to say that Sonic CD fails at level design due to the different choices it made compared to 2 and 3 is to pay superficial attention to the game's unique goals and strengths, while also revealing a frankly limiting perspective on what compelling Sonic gameplay can be. It made those decisions for a reason, to facilitate a different kind of experience that wouldn't be possible in the old paradigm. In my opinion, a vastly better experience. With that said though, I still wouldn't praise the game on the basis of masterful level design in the same way I would games like Super Metroid, Rayman Origins, or Tropical Freeze. Those games use careful, genius design tricks to almost read the player's mind and intuit their actions. One game might trap you in a room and force you to figure out one of its central mechanics, while the other might lead you by the nose using little trinkets and collectibles that invisibly teach you the game's rules. It's very thoughtful, but it's also very very guided, like the devs carefully thought through every moment of the experience and the optimal approach to conquering each challenge. Sonic CD
Yeah, JJ says, you know, because Keo said you got lost as to why he's on Heroes a little earlier. JJ says he's sharing his history before leading to his topic. JJ thinks it's fair in such a long video, especially as this video compensates for 6 years of hiatus. That's interesting. I would say that a 6-year hiatus should give a reason for him to get right to the point. Right? 6 years, and you're gonna, you know, and look, anyone could skip to whatever chapter they want, but
much more comparable to another platformer in its player-driven design philosophy, Super Mario 64. In and of itself, the level design of Mario 64 can feel broad, loose, and even random at times, compared to the very pointed and deliberate design of prior Mario titles. Analyzing the geometry in a vacuum, you might even consider Mario 64 to be a step back as an engaging platformer. But again, therein lies the twist. The brilliance of Mario 64's levels isn't necessarily in what they do, but rather what they don't do. They don't force a specific way of tackling their challenges or achieving your goals. More so than ever in 3D, the true appeal of Mario is in the joy of movement. Running, jumping, diving, wall kicking, grounding.
alright, Mario, give me my hedgehog. Yeah, we're still
you really
talking
don't need to do all that much to make the simple act of movement enjoyable. Just give Sonic the space to do his thing with ramps and slopes that bring out the best of his innate mechanics. I tend to find myself most engaged by more broad, open Sonic design than the more guided, prescribed courses we've been seeing so much of lately. With that said, players have had a much easier time getting behind the philosophies of Mario 64 than they have Sonic CD, and I think that comes down to a really important difference between the games. Even though 64 was a huge pivot from prior games in the series, the developers very effectively communicated how they wanted you to engage with the experience. You know from the moment you step into Peach's castle that this will be a more player-driven game with a less restrictive structure. You'll naturally collect the stars you want to collect, visit the stages you want to visit, and experiment with the moves you want to experiment with. There are even certain bottlenecks where you'll eventually be forced to learn certain moves, just like in Super Metroid. There are so many little details cluing you into the game's intended playstyle. Super Mario 64 had a much better shot at connecting with people, because 100% of people playing the game understand how it was designed to be interacted with. And this sheds light on what I consider to be Sonic CD's biggest flaw, a near total lack of proper conveyance. I've spent a long time justifying the utility of CD's design, but all of that falls apart when you remove the element of time travel, an element that the game itself doesn't really feel the need to explain. I mean, it's obviously not the developer's fault that Gems Collection didn't mention the generator quest in the manual, but like I said earlier, this is a Sonic game.
But neither did the original game, right? What's it called? Yeah, this is fair to bring up. This is something that I would definitely concede, and, you know, Sonic CD. Yeah, and Keo, no need to ask for permission. Go for it. What's it called? Yeah, I wonder to myself, if Sonic CD fails at, you know, conveying to the player, you know, giving a structure and how to get the most out of the game, well, how much does that succeed or fail compared to Sonic 1 or Sonic 3? Because those games are pretty much just beat the game, get a good score if you'd like, get the emeralds. Keo doesn't think that you ever beat the game as a kid getting all generators in the past. I mean, yeah, that... I don't even think that's like an admission of like a confession. Like, as a kid, I never played this as a kid, so if adults had hard enough finding their way with this game. JJ says Subsonic eats coca noodles, and JJ does too. But the stir-fry ones, not the yucky curry ones. By the way, just so I can plan ahead, EB Boy, were you thinking of doing your song request or no?
I shouldn't have to read the manual or look up an internet walkthrough to understand the central mechanics of a Sonic platformer. It should all be right there in the game. Sonic CD doesn't do an adequate enough job conveying the intended playstyle to the player, so it's difficult to really blame people when they approach this game with a Sonic 2 mindset. That's a natural consequence of a creative shortcoming.
You'd think most of the players understood that after decades, and that's just bad game design. look, if the manual doesn't even mention the generators, then that's the heart of the problem as a starting point. Shadow Ops says once you have all the time stones, the robot generators are destroyed. Good deal.
On the part of the designers. This future sign at the beginning of Collision Chaos can
All right, EB Boy. So, EB Boy, you can ring the golden bell in the channel points mart, and then send me your DM containing a request.
Clever level design if the player...
Yeah, Keo says, but Sparky, this is the 90s, the stuff was in the manual. I thought that the US manual did not have it, but I don't know if that's across the board for all regions.
Even understands that going to the future is an undesirable outcome. Because if they don't, they're not really gonna care. This is how I played the game growing up. I'd get whisked back and forth through time and think nothing of it. My only real goal was finishing the stage. It was only years later, through trying to destroy the generators, that I realized how bad I really was at this game. When you know the generator quest exists, the moment-to-moment design is excellent, but the fact that you have to be in the know in the first place is a failure of the game. And what sucks is how easily this could have been addressed. All they really needed to do was draw more attention to the generators as a point of interest.
I mean, if this is all included... I don't know if the Japanese manual does tell you about the generators and the good futures. Because if it does, then you could say this is a failure of Sonic CD, but really it's just a failure of the localizers that put together the manual. Yeah, Keo says in a general sense, you don't believe the manual says anything about generators.
In Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the HUD starts to flash whenever Sonic gets close to one of the giant special stage rings. This always makes me slow down and interrogate the area more carefully. This exact same thing could have been easily implemented with the generators. They also could have had Robotnik giving a thumbs down on the goalpost if the player failed to make a good future. This detail would have been enough to clearly communicate to the player that there's something they're missing.
Keo says, no, what's flabbergasting, Keo? EB Boy says if you had a nickel for every time you did your own redemption, you'd have 2 nickels. Keo says that cannot be intentional. What was it?
Special stage. All they really needed to do was draw more flash whenever Sonic gets close to one of the giant special stage rings. This always makes me slow down and interrogate the area more carefully. This exact same thing could have been easily implemented.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't say that I knew about that the UI starts blinking. No kidding. Okay, so Keo says there's no way that they intended that. Yeah, that's easy to believe that it's just a palette overlap problem that they could not fix. JJ is not sure this is a valid argument for bad game design. A game can have secrets. If Dark Souls came with a manual, would it have to list all the hidden areas? Maybe the thing that distinguishes those two, Dark Souls versus this, is just the intended, demographic. If Dark Souls is for the big kids and this is supposed to be an all ages approach, yeah, EB Boy says, yeah, it's probably a color palette issue.
Generators. They also could have had Robotnik giving a thumbs down on the goalpost if the player failed to make a good future. This detail would have been enough to clearly communicate to the player that there's something they're missing. There's even precedent for this in the series. The 8-bit games would give you a different flagpole result depending on the kind of bonus reward you got. They could have had a good future bonus tally, they could have used a more sinister level clear jingle depending on how well you did. These little details would have gone a long way towards remedying this issue. Now I suppose this is something of a non-issue in the internet age, but I do still consider this lack of proper conveyance to be a minor blemish on the game. And while we're on the topic of minor blemishes, there's also these Metal Sonic projectors hidden in the past that I haven't mentioned yet.
JJ likes these ideas. Yeah, Keo says, if there was a bit of a hint that if you get all these generators, something will happen, that in itself would have been enough.
Machine's projected image of Metal Sonic terrorizing the local wildlife, and destroying it fills the stage with critters in both the past and present. Now the way I've always interpreted this is that Metal Sonic killed all the animals in the stage, and by destroying the generator we're symbolically preventing him from doing that, hence all the animals coming back to life. I have no idea if that's what they were going for, but that's just how I take it. These projectors do serve in life. I have no idea.
Eggman and Metal trying to sully Sonic's rep. The animals are hiding because they think Sonic is a bully. Okay, so they want other animals to see this and be like, oh, look how Sonic
that's what
is
they were going
attacking
for, but
these
that's just how I
innocent
take it.
creatures.
These projectors do serve an important purpose, one that I'll discuss a little later, but on a fundamental gameplay level, they're totally superfluous to the act of saving the stage. The good future will be filled with life whether you do or don't deal with Metal Sonic, so they aren't integrated into the game beyond a simple aesthetic detail. Whereas the generators are very thoughtfully placed in ways that require the player to make the most of the level's mechanics, the Metal Sonic projectors are simply dropped all over the place with no rhyme or reason to their placement. This time it really does feel like looking for a needle in a haystack. They aren't satisfying to destroy because you don't feel like you're actually solving a problem, you just happen to run into it. I think these would have been a more welcome inclusion if they were handled more like the golden bolts in Ratchet & Clank, rewards for tackling the stage in an extremely difficult or unexpected way. Some of these projectors actually are handled like this. While recording footage in Stardust Speedway, I whizzed past this Metal Sonic projector chilling at a part of the stage that I didn't even realize you could access. This led me to explore the area and stumble upon this jungle gym of springs and slopes which eventually deposited me right in front of the projector. I wish all of the projectors had this same sense of kooky fun to them. Make it more of an Easter egg hunt rather than a boring scavenger hunt. But these projectors don't actually interfere with the game, so they're really not hurting.
Hey, Keo says they explode, so they're satisfying to destroy. And hey, what's up, Mark Reed over on YouTube?
Beyond this, I'm so in love with every one of this game's concepts that my only real criticism is I wish they went even further. I wish there were 2 versions of every
JJ
boss.
wonders how he exploded that
Beyond
box
this,
without
keep
moving.
hunting
Let's
them.
see.
Make it more of an Easter egg hunt rather than a boring scavenger hunt. But these projectors don't actually
I think he just
interfere
spun
with the game,
dust.
so they're really not hurting anything. Beyond this, I'm so in love with every one of this game's concepts that my only real criticism is I wish they went even further. I wish there were 2 versions of every boss encounter, with the bad future being the same basic fight, but with way less rings and more aggressive patterns. Sonic 3 did this, and it didn't even really have to. Imagine if the Metal Sonic projectors didn't just spawn
So
a
yeah,
bunch of
Eevee
animals,
Boy,
but
now
those
would be the
animals guided you
time
to hidden
to
rooms
send
and
over.
Easter
We're gonna
eggs
get
hidden
going
all
with
over
that
the
pretty
game.
soon.
Things that you almost certainly wouldn't have found without their help. Imagine if each projector was associated with one specific type of creature, and that by destroying it, you don't just return the animal to that one stage, but the entirety of Little Planet. If you keep destroying projectors in every stage, eventually Little Planet would be overflowing with critters. Imagine if
Is that end screen that's only on the like the original Sega CD version?
Instead of destroying the same generator in every stage, each zone had a unique terraforming device that reflected the theme of the environment. Collision Chaos could have a smog machine, Tidal Tempest could have faulty pipes polluting the water, Quartz Quadrant could have disruptive mining equipment, and so on. Imagine if destroying both the generator and projector in a stage doesn't just result in a good future, but a perfect future. And doing this in both acts of a zone leads to an entirely different version of Act 3. One where you don't fight a boss, but instead enjoy a speedy, linear victory lap surrounded by beautiful visuals and music.
Why is he
Obviously,
showing this?
I'm not mad entirely and so on. Imagine if destroying
Mania,
both the
isn't it?
generator and projector in a stage doesn't just result in a good future,
Oh, he's
but
just
a
saying,
perfect
imagine
life
if,
and ideas
skip
went
that.
largely unexplored by the series moving forward. That honor obviously went to Sonic 2. A game I feel we should probably
Wait,
talk
hold
about
on.
for the Sonic series. Its Sonic CD unfortunately represents something of a creative dead end for the Sonic series.
Now, I reject that. It is not a creative dead end. It is no more a creative dead end than Sonic Heroes is. You make it seem like Sonic CD was supposed to be, you know, the new iteration that they would continue iterating on, right? I've already talked about that with Subsonic here on, so I'm surprised that's in this video. You know, some people have tried to say, well, you know, Sonic CD is a failure because how many other Sonic games have time travel signs? And it's like, sweetheart, it was never meant to be a mainline continued iteration.
Its themes, gameplay, and ideas went largely unexplored by the series moving forward. That honor obviously went to Sonic 2, a game I feel we should probably talk about in a little more detail. This may be controversial, but I'm going to go ahead and posit that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is the single most popular title in the series, on the grounds that it is one of the very few Sonic games that enjoy an entirely undivisive reputation, regardless of...
Undivisive? You never played Metropolis Zone or the special stages or the final boss when you were young?
Skill level, taste, or familiarity with the franchise. It is simply a classic in every sense of the word, both with the Sonic faithful and the general gaming populace. This makes it an excellent point of comparison with Sonic CD. Analyzing both games alongside each other reveals a lot of really interesting game design discussions that can be applied more broadly to a number of subjects. One's scope versus the other's focus, one's freedom versus the other's polish, one's eclecticism versus the other's familiarity, and perhaps most importantly, one's depth versus the other's accessibility. Sonic 2, I think, represents the series at its most accessible, giving you about as many levels as Sonic 1, but twice as many ideas. I think most gamers can find something to enjoy here. Where Sonic CD wants you to view the stages as one big continuous whole, Sonic 2 instead structures stages as a series of evolving linear challenges. In other words, while Sonic CD was filled with attractions to interact with at your leisure, Sonic 2 strings those attractions into a sequence like a sort of roller coaster ride. The upside to Sonic 2's approach is that the game's rules are very legible. Every stage and gimmick is quite easy to parse mentally, even when the actual difficulty cranks up. If a new player is struggling with a certain zone, it's at least crystal clear what the game wants from them. A potential downside of this approach is that Sonic 2's attractions are much less negotiable than Sonic CD's. In Sonic 2, the stage gimmicks almost exclusively serve the intrinsic goal of progress, whereas the stage gimmicks of Sonic CD are tools to assist the player in their extrinsic goal of time travel and exploration. The consequence of this is that the stage gimmicks much more strictly dictate the pace of Sonic 2, even over the player's will. In Sonic CD, the pacing is always dictated by the player. The severity of this can vary from zone to zone. Hilltop Zone, for instance, is very cleverly designed so that the player can always speed up their traversal through its many pulleys and seesaws. All of these gimmicks have been thoughtfully built to complement Sonic's fundamentals and respect the player. It never gets boring to blast through the zone because there's so many ways to subvert its challenges. Then there's a stage like Oil Ocean Zone, which is far less negotiable. The gameplay loop here is pretty much as follows.
Yeah, Kyo had said, honestly, part of why CD ended up being the other is that it released on a gimmick add-on. You wonder where we'd be if Sonic 2 was the one on a CD console. Yeah, I see that point, and thank you, Eevee Boy. I did see the request come in. I do understand that point, but that hypothetical just doesn't even make sense to ponder, because it would not make sense for them to put the streamlined, accessible, somewhat linear, digestible game, there would be no reason to put that on the expensive next level hardware upgrade. Yeah, JJ says you don't know if we skipped it, but Subsonic talks about how this game is an open playground with infinite possibilities. Yeah, I take that's to be CD. And yeah, Keo says Sonic 2 ended up being a bundle-in game. That was how I got it. It sure was. My Christmas was Genesis with Sonic 2 pack-in, and the not for resale little indicator. Yeah, EB Boy says you take a Sonic CD, you remove the CD audio, it would change the game fundamentally. A different experience.
Run right for 15 seconds, slide. Run right for another 15 seconds, lift. Run right for another 15 seconds, cannon. Run right, then left, then right, another slide, another lift, another cannon. Do this for about 2 minutes and you're done. It's not particularly compelling. The beginning of Act 2 gives you the illusion of choice with these 3 alternate paths to choose from, but guess what they all lead to? Slides, lifts, and cannons, all of which you engage with.
Right, Sonic 2, Oil Ocean, we know how bad Metropolis is. Metropolis.
Here's the thing, flying thing to do in
live
a
action
Sonic
footage.
game, then slowly nudging bolts around at the speed of... Here's the thing with Sonic 2. I love the game. I've loved it since I was a kid. But nowadays, every playthrough tends to feel the same. I typically take the fastest routes through every act and reach the goal in about a minute and a half. 2.5 at the absolute most. It is much less engaging to be good at Sonic 2 than it is to be good at Sonic CD. The game just gives me so much less to do with those skills I've developed.
Thought it was gonna get
Whereas
crushed.
being great at Sonic CD totally transforms it into an entirely different experience, being great at Sonic 2 generally means doing the same things, but quicker. So once I hit a certain plateau of ability, my playthroughs of the game started to blend together. Maybe I haven't reached the skill ceiling, but I'm getting dangerously close to it. My Sonic 2 experience tends to go something
Look at all
like
those
this.
consoles.
I pop the game in.
Wow, you guys have red buttons in the UK? This world we share. And hey, what's up, Clash Pineapple? Good late night to you as well. Yeah, as Keo says, yeah, the titles on the add-ons were intentionally more experimental. JJ just scooped up a 3-in-1 Sonic compilation for the Mega Drive, which has Sonic 1, 2, and Mean Bean. You're saying there's some interesting music on the game selection screen? Is it like the Origins Sonic Jam music?
Start running around and having fun. Maybe I scratch my nose or look down for a moment to throw
You guys have those controllers? How different. Is that Mario Galaxy 2 in the back? Is that a shout out to my streaming schedule?
on a podcast. And the next thing I know, I'm watching the credits roll. Like my muscle memory took over and blazed through the whole thing without my brain's involvement. It's just...
Was that a 64 with the crystal shards?
And blazed through the whole thing without my brain's
I think so. Upper right, crystal shards spotted.
involvement. It's just the same game every time. The fun parts are always fun, the tedious parts are always tedious, and it always
BB
satisfies...
Boy wondered if he saw an Ultra 64, and if that's the N64. Clash Pineapple says, is it the same type of difference as the SNES button colors in US and Europe? All right, now I got to see what a Europe SNES controller looks like. I didn't realize it had different button colors. And yes, Stanley, Subsonic is from the same United Kingdom as JJ.
a base level.
JJ says Subsonic has so much cool stuff. Yeah, Keo says you got those 6 buttons. You can play Street Fighter 2, no problem. EB Boy's pitching a pizza party at Sparky's house.
Enjoyment. But my relationship with the game hasn't significantly evolved in years. I suppose I could force myself to take different routes through the game just to mix things up.
All right,
but
Sonic
this
2, to get a little bit
from
more. All right, we got
something
5
like
minutes
this
until the top of
to
the
something
hour.
like this.
So,
It's just more demanding,
I'm
more
fine with just doing the
effortlessly
song
glide
requests,
Sonic off screen
and
to
then
like
we
this
could get
or
some
Lotion
Start
Zone.
Transform, but I don't know.
Is to
This is a
plant my
very
feet and
now
submit to the basic
Sonic
rules of the
event.
level. Compare
I
this
have
to
no
a similar
regrets
moment
about
from
looking at a
Collision
bunch of it.
Chaos, and honestly, I think the clip speaks for itself. It's night and day. The more I play Sonic CD, the more I realize just how much I'm capable of. The more I play Sonic 2, the more I realize I'm trapped in a box. If Sonic 2 is a roller coaster with occasional waiting, the more
Is
I
that an
realize I'm
emergent
trapped in a
glitch?
box. If Sonic 2 is a roller coaster
Yeah, what the hell was
with
that about?
occasional waiting in lines, Sonic CD is the entire theme park, loaded with attractions to engage with at my own pace and in my own
Yeah,
way.
Subsonic
It's
was here earlier, and I did mention that we would take a look at the video. His schedule is booked with playing 4-player Super Monkey Ball.
It's just a game with a lot more going on than the other. It houses more gameplay opportunities, more ways to show off, more ways to outthink the designers. Once again, Metropolis Zone brings out the absolute worst in Sonic 2's resulting
2.
to find the game accounted for well over 50% of the total runtime. And this is ignoring the fact that I intentionally killed myself a few times in those earlier zones just for the sake of capturing footage. In other words, Sonic 2's pacing goes to complete shit in the final act of the game. I always wondered why this odd feeling of dread would set in the moment I stepped foot in Oil Ocean Zone. Now I know, the game slows to an absolute crawl during its
Sonic 2, Sonic 2,
with the game's directors generally privileging the
Alright, let's see the
unified goal.
internal
This
drama.
attempt to cram 2 foreign teams together and make them work towards one unified goal led to a lot of discord, with the game's directors generally privileging the Japanese contributions over those of the American team. One might write this off as simple in-group preference, but honestly, considering the pedigree of both teams, this was probably the intelligent move. With Yuji Naka America opting to work exclusively with his hand-picked team from Japan to produce Sonic 3. Combine this poor communication with the aggressive deadlines from Sega of America, and Sonic 2 was ultimately released with a mountain of cut content and cut corners. The bloated state of Metropolis Zone is just one consequence of these unfortunate issues. It's interesting to think that such a beloved and important game owes so much of its legacy to such a turbulent production. The incredible quality of Sonic 2, in spite of its troubled development, is a real testament to the brilliance of Yuji Naka and his team. But I can't help wondering how much better of a game we might have gotten if it spent just a few more months in the oven. Sonic 2 is a great game, a classic game even. Well designed, accessible, pick up and playable, but not even approaching the level of
Kyo's down watching this video. So beautiful and kinetic, says JJ. JJ says, yeah, that thing that we saw at, what was it, Hilltop Zone? You can charge a spin dash on the seesaws and they remain in the air. And that's also an ice cap in Sonic 3, no kidding. But yeah, I don't think it's the new monkey ball that Subsonic is playing as we speak.
Conceptual ambition or depth of Sonic CD. Thankfully, all is forgiven because this game exists. How I love Sonic 3. Let me count the ways. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, I feel, addresses virtually all of Sonic 2's shortcomings in bold, creative ways. Whereas Sonic 2 often rewarded the player's skill mastery with less game to play, Sonic 3 is much more robust and adaptable in its design. It's rarely just a case of a good route versus a bad route anymore. Rather, the game presents the player with genuine choices to make that simply lead to different outcomes rather than correct or incorrect ones. I can blaze through stages like Marble Garden, Carnival Night, and Mushroom Hill multiple times and have pretty different experiences each run, without feeling like I've been shortchanged.
Yeah, interesting. Clash Pineapple at first thought this had senseless complaints, but now that you listen to it, he has a point, because Clash Pineapple had great fun with Sonic 2 and all. It's just that once you found the optimal paths, every playthrough was the same. Yeah, and I would even say that playing Sonic 1 on repeat playthroughs is, when you compare it to Sonic 2 is more samey. My view is that Sonic 1, it's hard to explain in the moment, but that Sonic 1 has a lot more moment-by-moment variation in what can happen, you know, compared to just holding the D-pad right to make the bolt go up the screw with the stupid praying mantis at the top.
There are so many little micro-challenges sequenced into the stages that I'm bound to slip up every now and then, complicating my routing in ways that are actually refreshing, which is really impressive for a guy like me who's logged untold thousands of hours into this one game.
Thousands?
The devs also managed to remedy the wonky pacing that deflated Sonic 2's final stretch by cooking variety and evolution directly into the zones themselves. One act of Sonic 3 can be as long as an entire zone in Sonic 2, but the game keeps your attention with dynamic theming.
What's that weird life counter thing? I know it's not the point, but look at the life... when we get to the hydrosity, yeah, what the hell is this?
Variety and evolution directly into the zones
Is that a PAL
themselves.
thing?
One act of Sonic 3 can be
Yeah,
as
that
long
weird
as an entire
O2.
zone in Sonic 2, but the game keeps your attention
What the hell
with
is that
dynamic
Zero
theming and interesting
sprite?
set pieces. As you run through the stages, you'll find that they're seamlessly transforming around you in real time.
Alright,
Lush
I'm gonna
jungles
pull
are
up
set
EB
ablaze,
Boy's request
amusement parks
as
have
we
blackouts,
listen to a little
earthquakes
bit more of
terraform
this.
the land, the seasons change from summer to fall and winter. You drill to the depths of active volcanoes and explore their crystalline underbellies. There is more content in a single act of Sonic 3 than there was in an entire zone of the previous game. And it's not just the aesthetics. Entirely new gimmicks and hazards will debut in the zone, ensuring that the player is never seeing or doing the same thing.
JJ says it's because he has over 100 lives. Yeah, now he's got 99. I didn't realize that was the thing.
And yet it never lingers on those.
Alright, yeah,
ideas.
Shadow
The whole
Ops
adventure is
confirmed.
paced
O2
beautifully,
is
with a real
102
sense of
lives.
rising action that swells in tandem with the
Shadow
story.
Ops
Skimming through my footage here, every zone seems to be
had a
exactly
better
what it
Sonic
should be in
experience
accordance
when
with
you
the
got an
experience,
SG
leading
Pro
to an
Prad
even
6 from
distribution of fun and
Interact
diverse content
with a
from
turboed
beginning to
spin
end.
dash.
Moreover,
Using
Sonic
that
3
turbo,
largely
are ya?
eschews the insta-kill traps that so often slam the brakes on Sonic 1 and 2 with smart level design. The game often strategically halts Sonic before setting him up for the next demanding sequence, giving the game a beautiful sense of rhythm where previous games could feel quite slapdash. Every badnik, hazard, and pitfall has an extra layer of care to their integration. But being a bit more accommodating didn't.
Alright, no wonder this Sonic CD video is almost 8 hours. It's because it's not only about CD. let's hear one more parting thought. Clash says in Mario Wii, once you get 99 lives, Mario loses his hat. If Sonic had that Easter egg, what would he lose? The Master Emerald, which he would then have to track down and get back in Sonic Frontiers 2.
Radical improvements to the core gameplay on almost every axiom. In the right hands, the Insta-Shield is absolutely game-changing, facilitating a whole new layer of interaction to the moment-to-moment Sonic gameplay. Then there's the Elemental Shields, which are even more incredible. These give Sonic even more options for horizontal and vertical propulsion, introducing this brilliant kinetic variety to the gameplay completely unrivaled by prior games. You can scale walls, trivialize traps, and generally explore the environment in so much more depth than before, greatly enhancing the fluid pinball traversal of classic Sonic. What really helps the Elemental Shields is how they were clearly implemented to complement certain stages and scenarios, like the Bubble Shield in Hydro City and the Fire Shield in Lava Reef. Then there are moments when the intended shield changes up based on the act. The first half of Launch Base
Wow,
is
the
best
trial of Sonic Mania. We'll have to come back and view that part. Yeah, look at this. Nights into Dreams. No wonder it's 8 hours. All right, cool. With that, shout out to Subsonic. Congrats on the big release. Look forward to listening to the rest of it. Clash says, it's how long? This video is a hefty 7 hours and 45 minutes. Now, how many of those minutes are about Sonic CD? Not all of them. We like to have fun around here. All right, here comes Eevee Boy's request. It's going to be great. It's going to be this.
At Peacock, scientists have discovered
It's that guy, Randall Park.
Friday night and football, and brilliantly combine them to bring you.
Oh. I bet you can sniff out at least the series this is from. Oh, did you hear that Mario cadence? Alright, Clash and JJ and Stanley immediately sensed that it was Kirby, but which game? And more importantly, which level? Shadow Ops smelled the Kirby as well. Wow, those are similar chords to that Grassland song I have at the waiting zone. You hear that Mario cadence again? This is great. Awesome to get some 8-bit vibes in here. Do. Check it out. Alright, Stanley figured out the game. Keo has not played this one. Keo has a limited Kirby resume, and yeah, I do too. I've only dabbled with Superstar. And probably shouldn't count Kirby's Epic Yarn, but I did beat that and I loved it. But that doesn't quite count. JJ wonders which remaster he played in 3D on a 3DS. It sounds like Eevee Boy says Adventure. Nice, Eevee Boy says this is a fun title, and this is one of 2 songs in this game that can get you to cry. That's interesting to hear that, because I don't know if I cried listening to that Grassland song, but like kind of those vibes. So, you know, joyful and nostalgic, a little bit bittersweet. Yeah, truly breathtaking. Just really emotional, says EB. Stanley has this game on real hardware. Take it to the bank. Clash was close. You even had Kirby with the hamster in mind. And yeah, Eevee Boy's asking what game that was from. That is from Kirby's Dream Land 3. Is Kirby's Dream Land 3 kind of considered the main definitive Kirby game? Alright, but hey, JJ says Epic Yarn totally counts and it's one of the best, so alright. I have some Kirby cred then. I love that. We'll hear it on the next loop.
Yo, those are nice. Hold on one second.
Candace, what's up? I think my daughter's going pro in basketball.
I'll take those.
Wait, you're at Dick's? Could you pick up an agility ladder for my daughter?
Yo, she's 3.
So what do you
Thank
think's
you.
the next step?
Thank you. Yeah.
Should we work on the
Hey,
crossover
Patrick,
first
let
or
me call you back.
Keo says it's an incendiary question. Evie Boy says Dreamland 3 is the hidden gem. Yeah, Clash said not really the main one, but it's good nevertheless. Yeah, Evie Boy would say Superstar. Wow, Superstar? Superstar just always seemed to me such, like, you know, a freewheeling experiment. But I don't know, I've heard, you know, plenty of praise and preference for that game. So. Yeah, that. I don't know if that's reminding me of. If it's another Kirby song or something unrelated. And yeah, Evie Boy wonders if I beat Superstar. And you're saying it comes together beautifully. Yeah, I have not beat it. I would consider it. JJ says his viewers keep recommending Amazing Mirror because it's a Metroidvania, which Keo confirms. Evie Boy says... Excuse me. No, it's not the same. But yeah, presumably that Evie Boy was talking about Amazing Mirror. Evie Boy says it's not a great one though, but it's unique. Evie Boy says dead ends in a Metroidvania. Does that mean a dead end where you have to turn around and find somewhere else to go? Or like you're stuck at that dead end kind of soft lock, you know? JJ says there's no dead ends in Ashura. This is a great tune, compositionally. And not only because it just had a Mario cadence. JJ wanted something upbeat, chill, and special, so this fits that pretty well. Speaking of JJ, JJ says if they send you back to the beginning, then it's a trial and error thing. JJ might have to analyze this and see if there's any merit, but it could work. Yeah, Clash saying, yeah, sorry, I forget which game people are talking about. It might be that, Amazing Mirror. And this, I wonder if it's on Nintendo Switch services. Deluxe or Vanilla. Look at this hedgehog. Evie Boy says that
That's an
this
iPhone
has
in a
some of the
mouse
most
case.
unique copy abilities too.
About
He
to
wish
hit our
Capcom would make
CEO,
another Kirby
James.
game
It was
because the
thrown
series
by this guy, the
is rather
CEO.
stale at this point. Yeah, JJ says that there was a concept for Ashura, a Sonic Advance 3 style hub world with level portals that can be completed in a non-linear order. Something out of the Crash Bandicam playbook. I think they have that in one of the sequels. Because I'm going to have a quick bite before our driving session, I'm gonna go put something in the food prep machine, and I'll be right back. That way it's kind of closer to be ready to eat once the stream ends, which the stream is gonna go for like another 10 minutes. So I'll be right back. Stay Kirby. Kyo's vibing with the background art in this game as well realized. They omit the hard blacks, and it helps. JJ's just over here wondering if Kirby's Forgotten Land is good. Because to JJ, it looks like it's Mario 3D World, but with way more going on. Why? Because you can transform into a traffic cone or refrigerator? Evie Boy has some supplemental info on this game. It's the first Kirby game with animal buddies, which changes your copy ability mechanics. This game presents itself as a continuation of the original Dreamland title, instead of a sequel to the main games. I guess I don't know my Kirby mainline lore enough to put that in context. Because there's Kirby... No, I won't even say what my incomplete perception of the Kirby series lineage. You know, I really like that. Yeah, look at this. It's like silhouette dark on and off with the lights. That's great. This is this an NES game? I guess the whole time I thought it was Game Boy, but that I have no basis to conclude that. Alright, Stanley says it is Game Boy. So, is this... Yeah, is this played on a Game Boy Color? So it's deciding colors to... Yeah, what's the deal with the color? I'm gonna figure out what that melody is from. Evie Boy says the director was the same one as Kirby Dream Land 3 in '64, which is regarded by fans as the Dark Matter trilogy. Evie Boy says he did these games while Sakurai was evolving the series in his own way. The golden era of Kirby for Evie Boy's money. Oh, alright, it's Game Boy Color. Gotcha. Okay, so this came out much later then. Wait, Game Boy Color? I'm confused. Let me look at the lineage of this. Kirby series, Wikipedia. Classic timeline of games. Alright, so it was Dreamland. So the first Kirby game was just Game Boy? I didn't realize that. Adventure was on the NES. And then Dreamland 2... Yeah, no, I'm seeing Kirby's Dreamland 2 as a Game Boy game. So it might be true to say that you can put it in a Game Boy Color and get these colors, but it is not itself a Game Boy Color game, right? Because the Game Boy Color is a different console the same way that the Wii U is a new console, but you can play backward compatible games. This just had the extra bit of, yeah, I guess, retroactively filling in the color schemes. And hey, Denizen of Light is back in the house, saying, oh, okay, interesting. Denizen of Light is saying specifically that these colors we're seeing are because of the Super Game Boy. You put this game in the Super Game Boy, and you put that into the Super Nintendo, and then you get these colors. Interesting. Yeah, Evie Boy echoes the SNES color palette. Evie Boy says this is the first time we ever got ability mixing as well. On a compressed Game Boy cartridge, that was enough to stop it from having ability mixing. So yeah, everybody, we're just about ready to close up shop. So, I'll see you on the racetrack. You know, if we have at least a few racers, yeah, we could have a 3,000 point prize. And, you know, depending on how things shake out, maybe we can start having a first and second place. But I would be inclined to have more than one prize if there's, you know, a fair amount of racers. So feel free to join us. Yeah, sorry that we didn't end up doing Sonic Transformed. The breaking news of Sparky's Subsonic video bumped. Sorry. But I could absolutely put Sonic Transformed on the schedule for next week. Yeah, sorry we didn't end up doing that at all, but yeah. Thanks again to Evie Boy, and of course, Keo for today's great requests. Clash Pineapple, I'm glad you popped in. Nice, Evie Boy is going to join us on the racetrack. Shadow Ops, thanks as always. Yeah, as Keo says, Dr. Alex's Channel Point Racers. Don't miss it. Denizen of Light. I'll send you that stuff on Patreon. I could even do it right after the stream. JJ, see you on the racetrack, probably. Stanley, could see you on the racetrack. You never know. And of course, everyone else watching out there in Sonic Town. I want to thanks for taking a peek at what's going on here at the zone. So as we come up on 7:25, I want to give you all one last thank you and good night. So yeah, probably get some Start Transformed on the menu for next week. And then, haven't talked to JJ tonight about the Wednesday race. I had one random thought to do an Emeralds bit in Sonic 2, which I have really no practice with at all. I don't know how much JJ does. So that could be interesting to see how well we do on... I don't know how much, experience and practice, muscle memory JJ has with Sonic 2 Special Set, but you know, and if we did it, it would make sense maybe to do it in Origins, or at least some version that doesn't have the crappy OG half-pipe. Wow, alright, well hey, JJ could play on real hardware. So you have to deal with the 1992 special stages. Good night, everybody! Nah, but seriously, Shadow Ops is going to join us for racing at some point. He hasn't given up. So yeah, Evie Boy, Stanley, Keo, JJ, Stanley, Evie Boy. Saying some names twice. Have a great night, everybody. See you on the racetrack. Look out for Shadow. Maria. JJ says the Sega Ages Sonic 2 on Switch is good too, but the special stages are the OG. Wow, JJ can handle them though, so be forewarned. JJ knows how to make his way through those brutal 92 special stages. Good night. Ah, look at this boss. He doesn't look like a big old threat. Ah, he did the slam move. What a concept.